I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. It is another Mendy review. We're at the end now, though. 93 rated. This, of course, is the card you get for completing the entire objective. It is such a contrast in the not maybe the difficulty, but more than anything else, just the length in terms of Mendy compared to Kessie. Now, I know I have an 85, an 87, and an 89 that I can put into SBCs. It's just mad how long this takes for a 93 rated card compared to how long Kessie took, which was about an hour for a 94 rated card. Just unreal. With that being said, though, you do get an end game card at the end of it. And given the fact that there aren't too many requirements with, win the game, it's only really for the 93, I think. The rest of it is just, get across here, score a goal there, blah, blah, blah. But it's more than, it's just play games with 6 La Liga players in your team, for example. So I like those type of objectives. I'm not opposed to the win objectives. I just feel like for an objective this long, I think they maybe could tone down the wins slightly. And then with regards to Kessie, because it's such a short objective, I don't mind the wins being in there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't mind win objectives. That's fine. I'm not got a problem with them at all. I just think the longer the objective, the less this should be. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. 93 Mendy, is he worth going from the 89 to the 93? That's the question, because at this point, I would imagine you've either started or you've thought, well, I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. You've decided whether you're going to try and do this or not. Maybe you haven't quite decided whether you're going to stop at the 87, 9 or 93. And that's, of course, where the other two reviews come in. You'll have a definitive answer at the end of this, though, because I've played a lot of games with Mendy, whether it be the 85, 7, 9 and this one. I actually packed the 86 the other day as well. He's just, I've got him on my brain right now. I'm having dreams about him. 5-star, 5-star, of course, nice little upgrade, but the 89 has that as well. High, medium work rates, average body type, 5'11". Regardless of stats, every single Mendy fits the meta of this game very, very well. He is very quick. He's relatively good on the ball, every version, and he's pretty good at dribbling at pace as well. So, and again, it doesn't matter which version you have, even the 80, that is, okay, it's not as quick, sure, but nowhere near as good on the ball either, but still very meta. Now, the 93 is essentially going to be it's going to sound stupid, but a much, much better, quicker, snappier, more responsive, better on the ball version of every other Mendy. And it's just there, it's obvious. This is going to be better than the 89. The question, of course, is how much better, and is it really worth that extra grind? I'm going to have to get the objectives up just a second so we can see what the leap is. So from the 89 to the 93, you will have to score using that 89 Mendy in 4 rival wins. That isn't too difficult to do if you put him up front or toward the front, right? Of course, I'm playing the 93, 4-2-3-1 as a fullback. I'm not moving him out of position. In the 89 review, you would have seen an awful lot of him getting assists, maybe even getting goals, and that's because most of the clips were him as a cam or just a little bit further up the pitch as a left wing. And the reason for that, of course, was because I was trying to unlock the 93. And I wasn't about to do a full review of him as a fullback, even though we know pretty much what he's all about because we've used the 85, 6, and 7. But yeah, I just showed you whatever clips were gathered from me unlocking the 93. This, of course, is me just playing for the sake of playing. And I really like him when he goes on a dribble. I mean, a couple of elasticos in there. Not particularly good at doing that skill move. I am still learning it. But he's unbelievably good on the ball for a fullback. You get... I wouldn't say he's as good as attackers or certain attackers. I would much prefer to be running at the defence with Mertens, for example, who scores an absolute banger there. But when you run at the defence with Mendy, or you're trying to get down that byline or to the byline, he is very capable. very, very capable of dribbling past 2 or 3 players. He's got the 5-star skills. They are very effective. His passes round the outside. And there are a lot of players out there who are very good fullbacks, and I do like them, but their balls round the outside to the overlapping wingers aren't particularly good. Reguilon is a player that comes to mind. He, of course, it was an objective card himself, plays in La Liga. What is he, a 92 rated fullback? I use him now, still a very good fullback. And endgame, definitely. I think, if you've got him and you decide not to go for any version of Mendy, Reguilon could easily stay in your team till the end of the game. But the one thing I'm not a massive fan of, and this is just my experience, is when I try to play the ball around the outside to the overlapping winger, in this case Cuadrado, the ball does go out of play a fair bit. Like, he can't quite toe the line. What I do is I hold R1 or RB and then play the through ball. And what that does is it gives it an arc. So rather than just play a straight through ball, it bends. Now, Mendy's passing is so good, and he's capable of doing this to the point where the ball doesn't go out of play. And he arches it round, and there's an arc to it, and it stays in play, and it goes round the outside of the defender. If you just play a straight through ball down the side, you'll notice that a lot of the time the defender intercepts it. If you want to avoid that, just hold R1 or RB. Mendy's very good at doing it. He could have got in to score there. Maybe I should have ball rolled. I panicked a little bit because I didn't expect him to continue the run. He did it because he was that keen to get into the penalty area. We were attacking like we are here. We're using the fullback as another outlet. It spreads your opponent. See, I didn't even use him there, but we've pulled that right back away. We should have scored with Ndombele, but we pulled the right back out with Mendy and should have scored. But there we go again, down the outside. There's plenty of examples in the video of him arching or arcing the ball around the outside. So if you want to see that in action, go for it. But he does that really well compared to someone like Reguilon, who is very hit and miss with it. Sometimes he'll get it right, but other times it'll just go out of play, and he can't quite get that spot on for some reason. So the score, using 89 Mendy in 4 rivals wins. The other one, of course, is keep a clean sheet and a win by a goal difference of at least 2 in rivals with 89 Mendy in the squad. And then the final one is assist, or the final 2 I should say, is assist using Mendy in 10 separate rival wins. Oh no, that is the last one, my bad. So the one under that was obviously the 100k pack. So yeah, it's a bit of a slog because there are win requirements at the end, which might obviously deter you from doing it. The 89 is a very good card, right? The 89 is a solid card that I think you could probably keep in your team till the end of the game, and you would have very little complaint other than the fact that it's not a 90 plus rated card, and in terms of visuals you might think, well, that card isn't as good as the rest of the team, because by the time you've gone through and done all your upgrades, maybe you've got some icons, maybe you've done some more weekend league and whatever it may be, by the end of June, maybe mid-July, you'll be looking at your team and every card is going to be 90 plus. Every card you should be relatively happy with, and then you look at that Mendy and you think, if I'd had that 93, I wouldn't be complaining now because it's a 93 rated card and I know it's endgame. But this is 89, that's just that sort of stigma that comes with it. But in all honesty, if you've got the 89 and you're not looking to try and break into another level of where you're currently playing, so for example, if you're a Gold 3, Gold 2 player and you don't really ever go to Gold 1, you can't really do it, or maybe you have to like super concentrate. Unless you're trying to build a team that is capable of playing just that little bit better, maybe carrying you into Gold 1, I wouldn't worry too much about going for the 93 Mendy. I think the 89 is very, very good, but unless you want that super end game team that you need to break into the next level, then the 93 is going to be for you. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't do it if you're not that type of person, you just want to play for fun or whatever, because this card is insane. I'm a massive fan of it. He is by far my favourite fullback. He will make an appearance on the Road to Glory. I've started working towards him on that account. Maybe I should have done that on there in the first place, to be honest, but there we go. I think he is an endgame card, and a card that I want in my team regardless of where I finish in Weekend League or what I plan to do for the rest of the year. And I think if you don't play Weekend League, you should go for this, realistically. If it fits your team. If it doesn't fit your team at all, then stop at the 87, stop at the 89, because you're only going to use them for fodder anyway. But I think if you're not playing Weekend League, you might as well focus your attention on doing this. You can get to the 89 just by playing games. and you'll probably do the rest of it more or less naturally anyway. Maybe you'll have to have a quick look at it and see, well, you know, maybe I'll try and focus on this, make sure you get the requirements correct, but you'll probably do most of it just by playing anyway. And then see how you feel for the 93. Definitely worth a push in my opinion, but it does kind of depend on your certain circumstances with time. If you play weekend league, it's going to be very difficult for you to play that amount of games. That's the annoying thing about this. Of course, you can't go towards it. You can't play your games and have them count towards it in FUT Champs, which is just ridiculous. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you think of the 93 in the comments. Have you gone for it? Are you going to go for it? Or are you maybe going to stop at one of the others, the 87, the 89? Let me know. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.